Hey peeps, what's going on? It's AshenEclipse back with another carball video. Just going to be doing basically part 2 of my Rocket League guide on how to improve, so this will be the intermediate guide more or less. So once you've done the trainings on rookie, I recommend moving up to pro. Don't immediately jump to all-star because it'll be way above your skill level, and if anything you'll just end up frustrating yourself for no real reason. So I would say the most important training to master, so to speak, would be the goalie training. So you want to start that at pro. You just want to go through it until you can 100% it without making any mistakes. You also want to try clearing the ball out high and far if you can. Just going to want to keep doing this until you can consistently clear the ball out toward the other net without making any mistakes. Like there, I caught it on the bounce wrong because I predicted the bounce wrong. So and a lot of what this will teach you too is it'll teach you how you need to flip your car in order to clear the ball in the best manner. Sometimes you're going to want to flip diagonally, sometimes you're going to just want to front flip. It's all situational depending on how the ball is coming at you. So you're just going to keep going through this, like I said, until you can manage to 100% it. And then once you can 100% all of the pro trainings consistently, then you're going to want to move up to all-star. But I didn't start doing all-star training till I was at about 800 hours. So it does take a while to get that consistency. But as you can see, the training for me was pretty easy, but I also have almost 1,800 hours in the game, so to go along again with the first part of the guide, you're going to want to find your preferred car. Most people use the Octane just because it's the most well-rounded. For me, the Octane is actually the most played car as well, but I do switch every once in a while just to have something new and fresh. But for the most part, you're going to want to try to avoid switching cars as much as you can so that you can actually build that consistency, because that's one of the main things the Rocket League is built on, is consistency. So, and the other thing to mention from the first video too is to find camera settings that you like and to just stick with it. It's really bad to constantly switch camera settings because then you're basically confusing your memory and you're also jumbling your muscle memory, because your mind gets used to doing something one way and then you end up changing it based on your point of view in the game. So it's never good to constantly change your camera settings. So for those of you who are curious and are not really sure what kind of camera settings would be good for you, for Steam, just press Shift Tab when you're in game And then under guides, you're going to go to view all guides. Then for search Rocket League guides, you're going to want to put in camera. And then you're going to go to pros camera. This lists pretty much all of the different camera settings that a lot of the pros use. So if anything, you can just go through that and see what you like playing with the most. I definitely recommend it. And I think there's also one other camera guide that you can check out too if you're curious. So, the last part of this video is more just going to be motivational, which is from a competitive standpoint. Like, it's going to take you some time to actually get better at the game, obviously, but from a competitive standpoint especially, you never want to get frustrated with the game to the point that you start losing motivation. Because if you're getting frustrated from every loss, then you're looking at the game in a completely wrong point of view. You're letting the game dictate what you do instead of the other way around, which never results in a good time. Because if anything, if you constantly let your losses and mistakes frustrate you, then it's just gonna compound and get worse over time. So it just generally doesn't help to get frustrated, angry, or tilted. To help with that, I would definitely recommend playing with people you actually know or friends that you might have. And if you do happen to decide to solo queue, like, I wouldn't recommend solo standard at all, but if you want to like solo queue doubles or ranked threes, then just keep in mind that you don't know your teammates and your teammates don't know you either. So you just have to be open-minded about the whole situation and try to play through that the best you can. Because if you don't, you're just not going to have a good time ever. Because you're going to constantly be expecting your teammates to do things a certain way, and then your teammates are going to be doing the same thing, and then you guys are going to get pissed off at each other, and it creates a vicious cycle of just ugliness, honestly. So you just need to be determined to get better and to fulfill your goals, but you also need to remember and keep in mind that you're playing to have a good time. You're not playing as if it's a job. If you're playing a video game to the point that it's a job for you, then you're doing it completely wrong. You're doing it wrong, because it's not a job. It should never be a job. If you're to the point where you have the mentality toward a video game that it's a job, then you should either take an extended break from it or just, well, I wouldn't say stop playing completely, but if it's that bad, then maybe there's other games that are better suited for you. It's also never good to force yourself to keep playing if you do happen to get frustrated, because at that point you're not playing anywhere near 100%. So if anything, the more you play when you're angry, the worse you're going to play. And then the worse you play, the more angry you're going to get. So, it's just it's a vicious circle where you're kind of just screwing yourself over, really. For the intermediate guide to the one other thing, the one other major thing I can recommend is to definitely go check out some of the semi-pro and pro Rocket League streamers and just chill and watch them. You don't even, like, with Twitch, it's cool if you are actually socially interacting with the streamer, but even so, there's nothing wrong with just going in and hanging out and watching them play so you can learn some things, because honestly, around that, like, around that 800, 900 hour mark especially is when I really started to learn the most from just watching streamers. And it was usually pros like Lachinio and Dapper and guys like that. So should definitely go ahead and check those guys out. Other than that, yeah, Lachinio, Dapper, Torment, pretty much any of those guys really. And then if you want to, you can always check out other streamers on Twitch as well. So I think that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I can't really think of anything else that I really started to do at around the 1,000 hour mark. There really isn't anything else that I can think of that I was doing to improve. Mostly, like I said, you just want to try to be positive and constructive, even when you do happen to play people better than you, because you got to look at it from the sense that if you're playing people better than you, then that's the perfect opportunity for you to learn from them and get better that way. So, just trying to think, training. Oh, you can, if you guys want to, even though this is the intermediate guide, you can go in and just check some of the custom trainings out. But I'll be going more into detail with the custom training and my advanced guide, because some of the training packs actually are pretty challenging, but it's a great way to either warm up or just practice your mechanics. So I hope you guys found this video helpful and informative and enjoyable. If you did, feel free to poke the like button. If you're new, feel free to subscribe, and if you did enjoy the video, make sure to share it. And pretty much do it for this video, guys. Hope you guys have a good work week. Hopefully things go smoothly, even though I know Mondays are usually not very fun for most people, but hope things go well for you guys. For those of you that do have to work, regardless. And I will see you guys in the next video. Later.